Hey, what's up everybody? Thank you so much for clicking onto this video and giving it a watch. It's been a little while since I've actually made a video, so I hope you're all doing well for anybody who's a regular viewer, but if you're not, welcome. And today we're going to really focus on Ashes of Creation's character creation system that they actually showed us not too long ago now. And I really want to get into a kind of a deeper dive into this entire character creation, compare it to other character creators that I've used in the past, and you know, in the comments below maybe you can discuss some that you've used in the past and what you'd like to see actually be in this new character creator and how they could improve and overall just make the entire process just a lot easier, a lot better and more refined. But overall, I just want to state this to start with: this has so much potential and has been one of the best character creation screens I've ever seen, and I am so looking forward to actually getting my hands on it. Now, the character creator in its first early stage does look really good. I mean, going from the origins page where they actually showed off the Kayla humans and then the Vec, seeing the Vec actually materialize within the engine was really important. I think there's one thing to definitely consider when watching this footage back as well, is that the Vec aren't actually in their natural motion. They're more hunched over as a race, and that's not clearly shown here. It's more kind of taking the detail off of what they've already created for the humans. So that's something to definitely take into consideration here, but that's probably a small detail that we'll get to see later on down the line. Again, it's great to see the Vec. I wasn't expecting to see an orcish race in that way. I think it's really interesting, and I'm really looking forward to being able to customize a Vec, because let's face it, Vec are one of the most interesting races, well, to me personally, in all of Ashes of Creation. Their kind of ideals and how they view the world is really interesting, and the fact that they're stargazers, and this game's going to be really focused around naval travel and naval combat as well. I'm wondering if they're going to have some sort of perks or anything along those lines to do with navigation from a naval capacity. Yeah, seeing the Vec was huge. It was really big for me, and I'm super excited to get my hands on and actually start creating some things. The UI itself, it looks very simplistic at first glance. Anybody kind of having a look at it can sit there and say, yeah, that's a character creator, that's fantastic, but it looks quite basic. That is until you start really kind of getting into those details, especially from the appearance tab. You know, being able to change the body with different sliders and stuff like that, that's nothing that we've not really seen before, but overall it looked really good, and how you could kind of sculpt not just the body but also the head and the face, and focusing on other details as well. Overall, when you first have a look at this, it very much focuses on the preset and the ability to adjust presets, length, etc. One of them was the hair length, which, by the way, that's such a simple thing, but having a predefined hairstyles but being able to change the length can make the same preset look completely different, and that's really important, and something that I don't see a lot in many other games that I just think needs to be there. I really wanted to focus on the way to change somebody's face. So there's instances of being able to adjust wrinkles for a certain character that you're creating, and that can be a way to create the character's kind of story. You know, I'm not a big fan of just having an age scale where I can just pull a slider and, hey, look, this person's now older. I want to be able to do that in more detail around the entire character itself. When you coming into the whole wrinkles system, and then you can go into their hair itself and change the color. The color gradient for the character creator is incredible as well, and it can really make you think about what kind of different color variations you want to go with. And they show a really good example of the secondary color gradient being a gray or a white, and kind of aging the character in that way, you know, upping the wrinkles and some maybe facial damage and stuff like that, like sun damage, and then throwing in those tips of white there to show that a character had aged. It was really amazing, and how simplistic these kind of bits of tooling were with these simple sliders. It just goes to show that you could create kind of anything within just the appearance tab alone, and that's not even the most detailed part. The Sculpt tab is incredible. The best thing that I can compare it to is probably the Sims 4 creator. For anybody who hasn't really played the Sims 4, it's very similar in this regard, where you can like grab different body parts and kind of drag them and use sort of sliders to be able to make somebody thinner, make somebody bigger, taller, you know, their arms bigger, their shoulders wider, and then of course the opposites to that. And overall, they've done such a great job in being able to give you more tools on top of what was already a detailed appearance tab in the sculpt to be able to really take those presets and make them completely different. That was one thing I was worried about when watching the video at first, was these are predefined presets. Is that always going to be the case? You know, there are going to be a lot of people that look very similar running around the place because we've only got a certain amount of presets to work from. That's not going to be the case. That's actually kind of really focused around, you know, just starting that character creation process and then using Sculpt to really go into detail. The fact that you can just shape almost every single point of your character to however you want it, I'm just really looking forward to the different creations that people are going to make in Ashes of Creation. Hey, overall, I'm really excited about kind of what's going to be in there, what we're going to see, and how people are going to make these things. One thing that they said during the actual video itself was that the character creator isn't just going to be something that you use once for like one character. As you kind of get your holds and then people start to work for you and stuff like that, you can actually create more characters in yourself. So, you know, if I take the example of you've got two parents and you want to essentially morph them and create a character that is based off of those two defined kind of presets, you can do that in the third tab within the character creator. You can see there that overall you can take these presets and merge them, and you can probably do that with your own created characters. So you could have like a family that works for you, that you've determined, here you go, here's a family of 4 people, you've got the parents, and then you've modeled the children based off those parents. This at this time is just speculation, but that's the kind of detail that you can go into to really kind of focus on building your own world, building your own story, and building your own sort of lore on the background of that. Because that's what this game's going to be about, is building history. You got your starting apocalypse, you come back, you're building the world, and it's within the player's right to build the world the way they want to. Even if it's to a small scale, such as your own hold, it's still your story, and that's something that we really need to consider here. You don't have to be massive, you don't have to be grand, you don't have to do these grand changes. You can make changes that impact your playtime and your play style on a very minuscule level. And this character creator is one of the tools that are going to allow you to do that, because they said within the actual video itself, you only use it once. What can we do to, you know, increase the use of the character creator, because it's so brilliant? And I completely agree, it's amazing. Now, going back to the appearance tab, I really wanted to focus on the tattoo option. Now, tattoos in of itself, their definition is also including scars. So there's this fantastic system that they have in place where, if you compare it to some other character creators, when you select a tattoo, usually the tattoo is defined into a specific location. If I take the likes of Baldur's Gate 3, for example, the moment you put a tattoo on your character's face, it's predefined where that tattoo is. And it's similar in a lot of other games. There are some games that allow you to manipulate it and change its scale and everything like that. But with Ashes of Creation, you can drag and drop wherever you want to. So you can just pick up a tattoo, pick up a scar, and drop it there. You can then change the scale of it, the size of it, the skew of it. You can adjust it to however you want. And there's instances of having a preset tattoo of a lion head, expanding that out and it becoming a large scale tribal tattoo that goes across the entire body, giving the entire tattoo system itself more depth and, you know, a lot more interesting things that you can add to it. What is really cool is in the video, they also use the scar animation to kind of create this character and give him a small amount of personality. So there's a large scar that comes across his face, and then they darken his pupils to make it look like he's been blinded. That kind of, again, is building personal lore, and it is getting really interesting, getting kind of a deeper dive into the character's backstory. And that's just something that this character creator is offering players. You know, you could go in thinking, I'm going to have this race and this is going to be my backstory, but maybe in the character creator there's something that you wanted to put in there, maybe a scar, or maybe you wanted to change their appearance in some way. You know, have hopefully in the future one pupil that is completely shaded and they are blind in that eye with a scar going across their face. There wasn't that kind of option from what we're seeing in the character creator, but this is very much a first pass. And I just have to say, Intrepid Studios, you are all doing a fantastic job. And this character creator looks amazing. I'm really looking forward to getting my hands on it. And the last thing that I'm going to talk about is one of the last things that was said in the video as well, is that the character creator is actually going to be available before the game's release. Meaning that you can create your characters before the game is actually out. Now, some people might think, well, why is this important? I can guarantee to you that there are a lot of people out there who just wanted to get into the game, so completely skip the character creation. Their second character might be a bit more detailed and might have a bit more fun, but there are some people who just want to jump straight into the game, and there are some people who will spend hours on the character creator. Opening up the character creator early allows both parties to spend more time in the creator itself and create some really fantastic characters, and maybe characters that they want to try in different servers or anything along those lines. And that's something that I think no other game really has done from my knowledge. There's probably a few out there, but I'm excited to just get my hands on the character creator, create a bunch of characters, and then try to figure out who I want to pick. I mean, I did it with D&D. Before I started a new campaign, I had probably about 8 characters to choose from because I love creating characters. But I want to get into Ashes of Creation more than I want to create a character. So opening up early, that ticks all my boxes. Thank you, Intrepid Studios. That's such a great thing to just offer up to players in the future. So honestly, you guys have thought of everything, and I'm really, really excited to play this game when it actually comes out. But yeah, if you got to this point in the video, everybody, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this. I really hope you enjoyed the character creation. I really hope that you're enjoying the kind of development process of Ashes of Creation. If you want to leave a comment and tell me what your favorite thing about the character creator actually was, then please do. There is so much detail here, and I've barely scratched the surface. If you haven't seen the original video yet, I'm going to leave that link in the description for you so you can see it. And please, if you're interested in Ashes of Creation, go and watch the character creator video because it is just incredible. But yeah, thank you so much, everybody. Have a great rest of your day, and I will see you next time.